My name is Ronald McDonald. We're on a video marathon. I'm trying to share the message of love, but let's just stick to what really matters. Money, muscles, women, fame. Yeah, that'll lead to happiness. I'm not going to start putting it all down, you know what I'm saying? But eventually you get to a point where there's this thing that we're all missing. And as you dig deeper into the truth, it starts coming to you, and it's an absolute miracle, you know, inner awakening, you know, and you really want to tell your brothers and sisters about that, you know, because there is a sense of satisfaction that comes from within. And then cool stuff like making money and getting healthy, and even maybe if you want to get famous or whatever, but really you wouldn't want to do all that to try to get the fulfillment, because it doesn't work. It's all on shaky ground. You want that rock solid foundation of self-awareness, self-knowledge, and self-fulfillment. A fulfillment of the self, by the self, for the self, as the self. So there's a wholeness and a completeness that is already ever present and all existent within everyone and everything. And that's what you want to share with your brothers and sisters. And then what you can do is work on some practical stuff, like, you know, since I'm 50 and I still haven't been married yet, so I'm just keeping track of my body so that I can, you know, continue to be, you know, healthy and virile, in case I ever want to decide to, just find a partner, you know. And it's I definitely want to not complain, because I see a lot of the women on Facebook. The dudes, not so much. The dudes are a little bit more simple. They're like, "Are you a cool chick?" You know what I mean? Like, it's like, cool, you know. Then the women are kind of mad on Facebook, at least anyways, about, oh, they're not perfect, whatever, like me, and my, you know, ass doesn't stink or anything like that. And it's like, well, the reason why you ain't got a man is because you always complaining like that. You know, we just want simple, cool, chilling. You know what I mean? We want to be men, and we're not going to like change. Like, you got to go, whatever, talk to your girlfriend. One thing I found though, for real though, is that, like, if you listen to a woman, that's the number one aphrodisiac, you know? Like, if you really listen with genuine interest. So you actually have to find somebody that's interesting. You can't be one of these dudes that, well, she's got great tits, so I'm gonna pretend to listen to her. Hopefully you meet and attract and vibrate interesting people into your life that you actually, wow, you're actually interested. But as you deal with your own pain and your own challenges, you're just more empty and whole, and then you're not tripping on yourself all the time. So like that narcissism, word's overused, but that sort of that self-absorption, I guess might be a better way to put it, you know, it's not there. But I know when someone's in pain, they are more self-absorbed, and as they extricate themselves from that pain, they're like, oh, you know, how are you doing? Instead of having to be, but that's a lot of understanding should come from that. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that are at the various levels and may not ever get a chance in this life to be exposed to like true spiritual knowledge, and they may never have the impetus or the energy or the karma to pursue that inner fulfillment, you know, where you begin to be like, oh, thank God, like the anxiety's gone. The fear of what other people think of me is gone. You can just be this skinny white dude and you're okay with it, you know? And you don't have to really be important. Whereas you're trying to fill up that emptiness and you're like, I need to be important on social media, please, you know? And it just makes this desperate hole in your chest, and it's terrible. And you're just chasing that dopamine. And it's an absolute terrible experience. But then you can even do it every day for 15 years, have that experience, go through it, and sort of come out on the other side where it's like, hey, it's just a practical thing. So what am I having for breakfast? What do I use to keep myself nice and clean? Because, you know, everybody's constipated. all my friends and stuff, they're like kind of healthy-ish because they're not like smoking crack every weekend and eating like double fried cheeseburgers, but they still have like the crackers and the, you know, the nut butters and the processed food, and that processed food has all those enzyme inhibitors in there, and then nothing works. And so they're kind of like young and stuff, and some of them are more mature and their systems shut down. So digging out all those enzyme inhibitors, or they're just endocrine disruptors, or whatever you want to call those anti-life cellular antagonists. You know, there's a million different ways to describe it, but it's just blockages, it's cellular blockages. It used to be just microscopic with like aluminum and mercury, and now it's like nanoscopic technologies, and then the people are just lining right up for it. So it's amazing that the humanity is so slow. It's really surprising. Not really though. Anyways, they're just killing themselves if they align themselves with the, you know, the chemical industrial complex. I try to avoid that at all costs. So I just go get organic watermelon, and then I have like better than organic cleanse powder. Meaning, like when they have organic testing, it's only every 20th batch or every 20th crop, you know, to test. And what's cool about Paradigm, it's better than organic. Every single batch is tested on the way in, all the raw materials. And if anything doesn't, you know, pass the test for pesticides, molds, and bacteria and things like that, heavy metals, etc., then it has to, then it's not taken in. And sometimes that's why, you know, Paradigm will run out of stuff, you know, but it's cool. I mean, that's, I'm like, I got over it. I'm like, I don't care. I'll just keep selling it out. And they're not pissed. They're like scrambling to, they've got a really good system, and they've got a lot more room for growth over there because they literally have the best production facility probably anywhere in the world. And we're just barely getting started. So I'm so stoked to be a part of that. They're putting together some great stuff, and then they just put the nattokinase into the Purazyme, which is what we've been waiting for, you know? And that's just gonna take it to the next level, because like I said before, the nattokinase is what the NDs and the smarter MDs are using to break up the blood clots. And I'm gonna do a little blood clot protocol. It's very simple. It's the herbal blood, the MSM, and the Purazyme with the nattokinase. And you just keep blasting that every day. It's gonna break everything loose. Slowly but surely, it's gonna start disassembling all that, all those coagulated immunoproteins that are, you know, trying to protect itself from the nanoscopic technologies, the graphene, which was in the things, and the nanolipids, which are the things that shrink up the, you know what, the ovaries and the testicles. And then I really think it is the graphene, this, you know, one-dimensional, self-assembling nanoparticle graphene, which, and then the human body, very intelligent, is going to recognize those substances are non-self, and it's going to set up an immune response, which, you know, the immune system creates these protein plaques to protect the more, you know, sensitive tissues. It wants to protect the brain and the heart, and then the other ones start to fall apart. And it'll protect the brain and nervous system is premium number one, where the intelligence of the body tries to protect. Then secondarily is the heart and the glands. It's an amazing, there's several books that I've read over the years showing how the body, through this scientific process of, actually they did it through fasting, of which tissues are protected, which ones are utilized first in the process of, you know, autolysis, or whatever you want to call it. I love the old term that they used from the naturopathy. It's slipping my mind right now, but basically, when the body goes into that fasted state, which of the tissues are the most preserved, and the brain and the nerves are the most preserved secondarily the heart, and then all the glands, and then of course the muscle tissue is and the fat. Of course, the fat was the first, then the muscle, then it tries to protect the glands, then the heart, then the brain and the nerves. So anyways, when you get exposed to all these chemicals, it'll put up all these neuroprotective and immunoprotective for the other places in the body too, to try to protect those sensitive tissues from these substances that really sometimes the body, being that the enzyme deficiencies are running rampant because everybody eats cooked food and there's a lot of stress, and you got the coffee, and then you've got so many different chemicals. We've already been depleted all the way since we were even born, really, because our moms weren't really running on light either. So that's a diminishment in our enzyme potential and the activation of our genetic potential. So right now what we're trying to do is raise our enzyme account to raise the potential of the communication networks in the body, to raise light in the physical organism, you know, in order to regenerate those tissues and regenerate those systems in the body so that the pancreas can work again. And so that all the glands, organs, the thyroid, the adrenals, and the gallbladder even, you know, as a very important component to digestion and the emulsification of the bolus, which then alkalinizes it and it helps to emulsify and create the fats into water solubility. That's another reason why supplemental enzymes are extremely beneficial, particularly people with pancreas issues and people with gallbladder issues. Until you can start getting on the living foods and the fasting program, then you can start to really clean out all those inimical substances that are detrimental to biological functions. And then the whole system will start to wake up, and the brain will wake up, and the body will wake up, and you'll start to feel better and have more energy. But it's a long process because a lot of these things are so foreign to the body that it doesn't even have enzyme systems in place, but it does adapt. The microbes adapt, the enzyme systems adapt, For example, the ocean now has microbes living in it that digest plastic, and that's how brilliantly intelligent nature is. And she will work with you. It's just that so many of these new substances, especially this particular, the latest one, is it's all new technologies, and so definitely the enzyme system in the liver and the pancreas, it does not have the enzyme capacity to neutralize and carry those out. So it neuroprotects until you can break those protein plaques down that are holding the single-celled the graphene oxide, the one-dimensional nanoparticles that were bopped into the beeper, And so the whole place is just Looney Tune land. And, I'm cool, I got love. I'm just staying in the love zone, but it's like, it is Twilight Zone, that the people haven't been able to catch on to what the governments have been doing for aeons of time, but it's a consciousness thing. It's a lower vibration versus those that are like, no thanks, I'm out. I'm too high consciousness to get involved in that. But then the lower consciousness is like, it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and they want to pull you down into their little shit show. And then that would be stupid. So you just don't do that. You're like, look, you are retarded. I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? But I did, like I said, I had a lot of friends that actually just got coerced, So that's why I'm putting together these protocols with a little more compassion. Sorry to call people retarded, but it's just like there was no way in hell I would live in a cardboard box and eat rat poop before I became a slave to the demon of death. I'd rather just save my soul. You can kill my body, but you ain't taking my soul, period, the end. That's Dan McDonald, So the body they come and go. Your soul, you better keep that, because you're gonna wanna, eventually you go back into the one, depending on the level of consciousness you're aware of, but don't ruin your soul and start back at square one when you come back to this place, you know what I mean? Everybody says, this is my last life, and you're like, and they write these huge diatribes on Facebook about how enlightened they are, and you're like, you may or may not be leading on this one. You just got an incredible amount of ego there, my ego commenting on their ego. Isn't that funny? But God bless them. I mean, you got to be like, you don't really know. You have to be surrendered to the divine. Is God going to give the full grace and take you all the way? Or, you know, they're like, I'm going to do this on my own. Like, you can't force God to give you the grace of illumination. It's just a matter of you make space for it. You have the opportunity to create every potential that you have, but it doesn't mean you're going to be kissed. You know, that is up to the divine. And so then your heart is going to be more humbled by that, right? And you're like, I'm going to work my way and force God to give me enlightenment. It doesn't really quite work like that, seems like to me. But anyways, so I'm going to make my breakfast. I know I make every damn video. I could have done it in 2 minutes. I should start over and make another one, what I eat for breakfast, and make a 2-minute video. But, you know, it's all just me ranting on, wanting to share cool stuff, hopefully, because it is about love, you know. It is about the love. That's all that really matters. That's the #1 vitamin. Should make a video about that. Love is the #1 thing that heals. Heals the brain, heals the heart, heals the tissues, heals the diseases, heals the digestion. All the hate is just killing everyone. They're like, the government told me to hate. I'm gonna hate. And it's like, then you hate each other, and I'm like, you ain't gonna get me to hate. Because I ain't gonna be hating nobody, because that shit will kill me. I ain't trying to die because you have different ideas than me. You know, most of the time more well-informed, as a matter of fact. Can you dig it? But I just blast it. You know, this is watermelon juice. And I just blast a couple scoops. This is my breakfast. It's probably 10 o'clock or something. I got up at 4 this morning and had a great day. Meditate, bike ride, ran a few errands, just got out of the shower, hence the clean hair. I'm gonna go with the triple dose today. Hitting it big, and then boom, you have this amazing, amazing bowel movement the next day. Can you dig it? Look at that stash, baby. I'm so stoked. I'm gonna be hitting it hard. I'm just trying to prep for now, and then I'm gonna absolutely blast it. But right now, I just want to be able to focus and not really be making videos and stuff when I go on this deep dive detox, because I'm almost there. It's like I've been hitting the enzymes and the juice, and it's just about to pop, and I just want to go and just lay there and let all the vital force work. Right now I'm still in the middle of like working. I got a bunch of stuff going on, trying to get my Skrilla, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is, you know. In this economy. Stir that up real good, and bammo. Bitter herbs, baby, clean you out. It's bitter herbs. So you can it's bitter. And that's what tonifies everything. So if you're overweight, you got cellulite, and your body's all flabby and floppy, this is probably the cleanest, most simple, easy way to do it, is to just take the cleanse. It's got the bitters. You can feel it. It goes like this, and it pulls everything out with it. It just tightens everything up. That's what the bitter herbs do. Everybody's against everything. I'm pro everything, dude. Do your thing, man. God put it here. Just get stoked. Yeah. Be happy. Have fun, dude. You're going to be here for like 1/10,000th of a second, then you're gone. You know, so keep your colon nice and clean while you're here and have fun, you know. This stuff keeps me so clean and healthy. It's ridiculous, man. I have friends that need that stuff so bad. There's so many people that need the herbs and the enzymes. They won't do it though. They're just like, I'm a puritanical. I'm gonna eat hybridized fruit for the rest of my life with no seeds in it, because that's what my philosophy is. It's like, I have a really open mind, dude. I'm wide open, bro. I'm like, yes, God put it here for a reason. All the stuff in creation. Use it to make your life epic. Of course, that tastes better. Thanks, everyone. DTM, long-winded. God bless you. Love you. It is love. It's just love. Cultivate that love inside your heart. Aloha.